All right, so I am in my background layers here, the one I composited in, and I'm just erasing back these edges so they blend a little bit better. And I can even use my brush to do that. Kind of break it up. Look how nice that is. All right. Oops. But where the darks are helpful, I want to keep them. And now you can see that without my background values in, this is the duotone stuff I have going on. Get rid of this black mark. What layer is that on? There we go. I can soften out these edges a little bit. All right. And this, I can erase away a little bit. Maybe not even at full opacity. Let's see. Yeah, that's better. Control my background. And then my duotone layer. And I'm going to leave my value layer turned off a little bit and just paint on my duotone layer and knock back some of these grays that I'm finding. And I'm painting at about 30%. I'm going to up that just a little bit. Make sure I address some of these things I've been avoiding. Again, using the colors I've been using throughout. But now I have this more sensitive, softer brush. And I want to try to get the location of the pupils right. It's kind of easier when it's softer to place them correctly. So as I work with the base layers turned on, they make sense. All right. And it shows me I have a lot more to do with the nose, or more to do with the nose. And there's nothing stopping me from putting these on more and more layers up top, but it's good at some point just to commit to what you're doing. Not worry so much about being able to go back. I'm bringing more of that red color in. I like it. And I'm always looking at the big picture, kind of how it all comes together. Now, another way you can check if you're kind of on the right track is you can flatten everything onto its own layer. Hold down Option, say Layer, Merge Visible, while holding down Option. It'll put it all on a layer up top. Then you can just do Image, Adjustment, Desaturate. Take out all the color. And then you can play with your adjustments, especially levels, and see if you need to push your contrast a little bit stronger, especially in midtones. That would help. I don't think it would hurt. Let's see. Then you can try changing that to an overlay of what you have, and then playing with opacity, seeing what that does to your overall colors and your approach. Now, if you're being way too conservative, that can be really illuminating and helpful. And I know that on the neck, I need to be a little bit darker in general. I think just overall, I think this helps. And so I can leave that as a bit of an indicator and then paint on top of that. As I now kind of finish things off. So there's my value layer underneath. Now I've pretty much got it all worked out. Now I just need to go over the top and kind of finish it off. There's a lot that needs work. I haven't done much of this shirt at all. It's kind of the boring part I've been avoiding. And now to be more confident, I'm going to use kind of a tighter brush. So I'm going to shrink its size. And I'm going to start zooming in more and working on certain areas. And I'm going to keep it more in the 70 to 80% opacity range. And I'm going to start really with the nose. Start sculpting this. And now it's like going over a painting with a colored pencil and just refining the certain areas that need it. You know, I might even change my brush and my shape dynamics to where the size is not controlled by pin pressure anymore. I'm trying to think, but rather the opacity is. So I go to the transfer control and I control by pin pressure the opacity. And then the harder I press, the more opaque it will be. Just like we do with our brushes sometimes. So you can set your brush to have changes in opacity as well as just size. Now, the problem with that is everything tends to go pretty soft. So I might not be quite ready for that yet. These are options to think of. So I'm going to turn that off for now. Turn back my pin pressure dynamics. And work at about 70% opacity. And it's all on a layer that's over the top of what I've done already. So I can always play with the overall opacity if I need to as well. This is a good thin brush to be able to define mechanical glasses that are sitting on the top. Make sure those feel solid. Make sure the highlights are represented accurately. If it's helpful, you can think about this like color holds on top of line work. Trying to choose your battles, refine the right edges. And this is ultimately where you can make those edits. But everything's